Okay, so while this is preheating, I just want to talk about a few more things. It does have a spot for a micro SD card here on the front, but it also has a USB-B port, which means it's Octoprint compatible, I think. So that's probably, as you know, I run my printers with Octoprint. I've got a video on that. We'll link it in the description for you. Really prefer to run the prints that way. It keeps all the files sorted, and having to undo and redo the SD card is a pain in the butt. So, alright, looks like it started going through the leveling process, and I think it has like something crazy, like a 30 point or something. Let's see, just did 3. Maybe, yeah, I think it's like a 5 by 5 leveling setup here, which is nice because on a bed of this size, this would be tough to level manually. And I don't think, yeah, there's not even any like spring-loaded manual bed leveling hardware on this guy. The bed is stuck exactly where it is, and the printer will adjust as needed, it seems like. So yeah, it just probes the grid that's on the build plate. It looks like every vertice of that grid. Also back here, when we get to loading the filament, you'll see this, but it's got a filament runout sensor. As we said, this is a Bowden style printer, so the extruder is right here, then goes down to the hot end. Looks like they've got a pretty large fan on that hot end. Maybe 2 fans? Yeah, probably one on each side. And the nozzle came with a nozzle sock, which is awesome. I highly recommend those as well. And then I guess the last thing I'll say is this thing is super quiet. I mean, relative to the Bebos, you can hardly hear it. So we definitely got to the nozzle. We can hit stop. Here, you can see down here we've got quite a little tower of filament that's been extruded. So we're at the nozzle. Okay, next thing, we're going to take the SD card pin side up, install it into the front slot there, and then we're going to go all the way back to print, and there's an owl.g code in here that we're going to use. We're going to select that and hit print, and the printer is going to get ready to go here. Just want to watch that first layer. I was thinking the nozzle might have been a little bit too high, but it seems to be tracking okay now. All right, let's see. Doesn't give you any type of indication of how long the print is, but anyway, we're going to let it ride and see how it comes out. It's so quiet. It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, I'm gonna let this roll. We'll get the full thing printed and then I'll come back to you a little later. print finished up mostly. We actually ran out of filament at the top of this guy. You can see it's just missing just, I don't know, maybe 5 layers. Looks substantially complete. Overall, I think the print quality is pretty good. It's got a couple little imperfections, but nothing horrible at all. The detail in the wood log that the owl was sitting on here, I'll try to show you, is actually really good. I'm impressed by that. The couple imperfections I'm talking about are this little over extrusion thing there, and then there's a little kind of bump here as well, but I mean, honestly, everything looks really good. These are very minor, easy to snap off items. Get the brim off as well here. See the whole thing. Bottom layers look really good. Really happy with it overall. I think that's a solid job. I'm a little disappointed that we ran out of filament to not complete the whole thing with the starter filament that the printer came with. I think that's a little weird. We did run maybe a little bit too much through the extruder when we were getting things ready to go, so I suppose that could be the reason why, but maybe, an extra couple feet of filament would be not a bad idea. The runout sensor did work though. The sensor over here, once the filament pulled through it, it stopped the print, or paused the print, I should say. And I could have loaded more filament in, but it was basically done, so I figured let's just let it ride. So yeah, overall, pretty easy machine to set up. Print quality is awesome. It does have a 0.4 millimeter nozzle that comes standard on it. I'm probably going to swap that out for something larger, at least a 0.6, maybe try a 1.0. I'm not sure what the capability of this hot end is in terms of flow, so we'll have to kind of test that out and see what it does. Interested to get a larger print going here, really make use of this large volume and see where it goes. But overall, I'd say this was a solid investment. I think it's going to get some serious use and really help me to expand into some larger scale prints. So I'm happy with it, and hopefully you guys will be too.